So one of the cool things that I've been able to play with over the last couple of years is my Garmin watch. Just kind of added a lot of fun, and then also giving us some scientific feedback about the runs I've done, courses I've run, preparing for a certain course. Especially a course like Boston that's really technical. Having kind of a scientific watch can certainly help.
Yeah, the great things with the Garmin and what it's done for us is, I work, to create Ryan's training from the sports science test. We're trying to get his VO2 max and max lactate and lactate threshold. And the watches come back and basically give the data off of the workouts that we give him. So we can track elevation change. We can track what you ran, in terms of total miles for that run. We can track what your pace was for those miles or for those individual workouts. And then as well as throwing heart rate in there. So we get a lot of data that really helps to feed back into what we're trying to do for the next week.
So one of the things I love about my Garmin being out here on the road training is it keeps track of all my splits for me. And so I can just look down and see what my last mile was without having to stop and hit any button. It also calculates the pace that I'm on target to hit for every mile. So right now if I look, I'm right at 7-minute pace, which is about where I do most of my easy running. And so it'll project, say, hey, you're on target to hit this, and then it'll automatically split for me at the mile, which is really awesome in a race or in training. It also keeps track of my heart rate, so I can just look down and see, okay, am I running the right effort level? Right now I'm about 120, which is right where I should be.
So the great thing with like a Garmin Connect, is we just load that right up onto the watch here, locks in, and then what it'll do is throw everything he just did on that run up onto a graph onto our computer, which then allows us to kind of go in and look at his workouts and see, okay, did the workout match up with what that training was? And I know we looked at, one of the big ones we had in here prior to Boston was really getting on that course and challenging those different sections. And we had that workout where we did those 3 times 8K with that 2K recovery. And the watch was really great in helping you, A, to kind of monitor what you were doing out there on the course, and then B, to give us the feedback of, all right, we did the workout, what did it look like, what was your heart rate, what were the elevation changes, what were your paces on those different elevations, and just giving us some great data to then bring towards the race, in those coming weeks, or whatever the next training block is going to be.
Yeah, one of the cool things too about these is they keep getting smaller and smaller. I remember when I first started using them, there's this big old brick that you put on your watch, and as an elite athlete, you're like, oh, I don't want to run with that. And they were also really pricey, but they continue to come down in price point and get smaller and smaller and more comfortable for the runners to wear. So I wore mine in the Boston Marathon, and it worked great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal how just new technology is jumping out there, and it really helps to fine-tune the athlete, make sure they're burning fuel clean, keeping a nice smooth rhythm and a good pace, and just giving us great data to work with to build a better program.